Hola, bienvenidos otra vez al canal. Yo soy Nayeli y estoy muy emocionada porque estoy con una persona que admiro mucho y que había querido conocer desde hace muchos años, Marissa Meyer. Thank you, gracias. Bueno, y vamos a comenzar. Es tu primera vez en México y te está gustando lo que has visto en caso de que sea así.
Yeah, so this is my first day here, but I've had a wonderful time. We had a really delicious lunch, almuerzo muy delicioso, and now I've met so many fantastic bloggers and booktubers, and it's been a lot of fun.
No, para irme rápido.
Okay.
Ok, ¿cuál es tu historia clásica favorita?
I actually don't know that I have one. It kind of changes over the years, and so I don't know that I really have like a number one favorite. Certainly all the ones that I wrote for the Lunar Chronicles have been longtime favorites. I've also always been fond of Rumpelstiltskin and also Bluebeard, so yeah, there's lots.
Ok, también entendí. Tengo entendido que hiciste una versión futurista del gato con botas. ¿Nos puedes contar un poquito acerca de eso?
Yes, so many years ago, I wrote a Sailor Moon fan fiction for a fan fiction writing contest. And yes, the story was a futuristic retelling of Puss in Boots that ended up being this kind of like Sailor Moon, Puss in Boots, Star Wars mashup story. And it was about like this lost princess from the moon who meets this robotic cat, and the cat tries to convince her that she is the lost princess, and she has to go and try to reclaim her throne, and yes, there could be some themes that people might recognize.
¿Recuerdas qué edad qué edad tenías cuando tuviste tu primer acercamiento o descubriste Sailor Moon?
So I actually kind of had two different introductions to Sailor Moon because I watched it at first when I was, I don't know, maybe only 9 or 10 years old. And it used to play as like the morning cartoons that I would, watch while we were getting ready for school. But I only saw a few episodes of it then, and it didn't quite grab me. But then when I was 14, my best friend was really into it. And so she was like, no, you have to give it another shot. And yeah, I got completely hooked after that.
De tus personajes de Crónicas Lunares, ¿con cuál te identificas más?
For me, I think that Cress is probably the one that's the most like me. One, because we're both such fangirls. But then also, like, she just has this wonderful imagination, and I grew up with a really overactive imagination and used to get teased for it. Like, I would space out and, go into my little dream world, and nobody really understood it. So it was fun for me to write a character who does the same sort of thing, but that for her, like, it really becomes one of her strengths.
Por eso creces más gordita.
I think this plot just gets more and more complicated.
¿Nos puedes hablar un poco de Levana, de cómo surge la inspiración de escribir a Levana? Porque Levana es muy compleja.
Yeah, so she was very much from the beginning inspired by the Wicked Queen from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, who has been one of my favorite villains for many years. And I was just fascinated with the idea of this woman who put so much importance on beauty and physical beauty and being the fairest of them all. In some of the old versions of the story, Snow White is only 7 years old when the queen tries to kill her. And I just think, like, what would drive this woman to be so cruel and so vain that she could try to kill a 7-year-old girl, So I was just fascinated by her character and wanted to answer some of those questions as to what would make her do these things.
Ya para finalizar, no sé si nos puedes compartir cuáles son tus redes sociales para que las personas te puedan seguir.
So definitely please follow me on Instagram at Marissa Meyer Author. I'm also on Twitter and Facebook, or you can check out marissameyer.com.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias, thank you.
Bueno, muchas gracias por ver este video, muchas gracias a ti por estar aquí y nos vemos en el siguiente. Ya.
Sí, thank you.